Hello again, Websy Wong's channel. I do apologize if it's not as light around. I noticed that, so I do apologize for that. I'm just pretty much, the average person here, so I hope that doesn't bother you too much. I was going to do an energy for cancers first on the list. Just address things that you guys have been facing and try to get as best I can directly to each of the signs. Personally, I feel like a lot of the water signs are really hurting right now. A lot of you guys, are done hurting, are done dealing with painful experiences with people, situations. But right now, we're going to focus on Cancer. Alright, I am Cancer. My sun sign is Cancer. My moon sign is Libra. And then my rising sign is Pisces. So I have a lot of water and air in my chart. I also have a Venus in Gemini, so that has to do with relationships and stuff. My North Node is in not Cancer. Anyways, I was saying not North Node in Cancer. That's my boyfriend's North Node in Cancer. I have a North Node in Aquarius, and then my South Node is in Leo. So I think a lot of these energies that I've been feeling for you guys as Cancers, I'm personally a Cancer, so I can vouch for this. I know everyone on a different level is going through different shifts. There'll be some people, they're progressing faster than others, or people, they've got in, they're really strong in themselves again, and they're reborn, or there's a rebirth going on. I feel like for a lot of you Cancer, you've been dealing with a lot of abuse, whether abuse from yourself, whether abuse from people and what they think of you. And I just feel like it's time to realize that not everyone is going to think like you, not everyone's going to be like you. I know a lot of people are mirroring each other, and I've been dealing with a lot of that, but at the end of the day, you're you, and no one can really steal that from you. I feel like for a lot of you Cancers, you're going through a lot of changes. You're going through a lot of processes right now. And you're clearing out things, especially when it comes to karmic ties, when it comes to karmic things. And I feel like you're really becoming into yourself. You may not be feeling it right now, but I feel like a lot of you Cancers are really coming out of your shell, and you're taking on, right now we have Aries, the season of Aries. I always feel like I'm more aggressive at this time. I'm more passionate and strong-willed. But also, too, when it gets to Leo season, I feel like Leo season for us Cancers, is going to bring that power back into us. Whether, we're ready for it or not, I know it's not even August, but that's what I see. But yeah, I'm going to pull a few cards, advice, challenges, situations, justice card. And the 7 of, right here, so it's not. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you've been dealing with an injustice situation for some time. Maybe when it comes to your relationships, because we're going through this traumatic shift that's happening with a lot of Cancers, that there's going to be shifts. There's going to be change when it comes to, our one-on-one relationships, our relationship with other people. And I feel like, we're really being put on the spotlight, our relationship, as well as, those who are Geminis, are being put on the spot when it comes to relationship. But I feel like with the Justice cards, it's saying that, you may have had an injustice thing happen to you recently. Maybe abuse from people, maybe abuse from a situation that you may have possibly been going through. And I just feel like it's coming to close, I feel like. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, you're waiting for things to progress. You're waiting for things to come to an end, or come to a cycle. And then you got the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, things are closing. Some of you may have been in a toxic relationship. Maybe you've been in situations that things are coming around full circle. So I feel like a lot of you are working on yourself. You're working on what works and what doesn't work. So, if you're Cancer, I'm very proud of you. If no one's told you that, I'm proud of you. A lot of us have been going through, these different traumatic shifts where we feel like, are we being heard? Are we being acknowledged? The work that we do, is it really getting recognized? Because you put in a lot of time, you put a lot of work in the things that you do, and I feel like, not much people really see that. Not much people really notice. But I feel like you Cancers are coming full circle with something. But I feel like in some way you've gone through this shadow period for the past few months, especially this year in general, where I feel like you've had to deal with, the dark and light aspect of yourself, things that you weren't ready to see, and I feel like you're healing. I feel like you are coming into this place where you can actually be yourself. It's really hard when you get around people that are low vibrational people, and it's really hard to truly be yourself around people when you don't feel safe, when you don't feel like comfort, or security. And then you have the devil. So yeah, you've been dealing with a lot of toxicity. You've been dealing with, this devil energy that's really got you flipped side down, and you really lower than the pits. But I just feel like you're understanding what this energy is and what it has brought. You've probably dealt with a lot of people that stole things from you, or in some way stole your creativity in some way, but I feel like you're getting, a better understanding of how to be empowered, of how to look at yourself in a better light, in a better situation, and don't let what people do, manipulate your mind or manipulate, the work that you're doing. But do what you gotta do, basically. Alright, I'm gonna ring the bell, clear the energy, and clear the space. A lot of people do their different things, but I just feel like, just gotta clear the space. I usually use incense of things. So we're doing Pisces now. There's a lot to say about you guys. I'm still in the process of healing from things that, this energy that March brought, this energy that February brought, it's a lot of toxicity. I feel like in general, a lot of you Pisces are finding out when you let go of something, or, you have let go of toxicity in some way, it's the universe is bringing in this abundance, is bringing in this wealth. But I feel like a lot of you have been through a downpour of rebirth where you've had to clear things out. You had to really acknowledge, your worth, your value, and where it matters, and your voice as well. But I feel like a lot of you, as you're getting into this place of abundance and wealth and, really feeling good at the moment, I feel like a lot of you aren't really focusing on what is true. What is the reality of your situation? I feel like you guys are trying, I don't mean to be disrespect in any way, but it's just what I'm feeling and what I acknowledge a lot of the time with a lot of you. You're not really doing the healing. You're not really addressing problems that really need to be addressed. And I could say the same thing for myself. Sometimes we don't want to look at things that hurt, or we don't want to acknowledge the pain because we want fulfillment in life. We want to work, 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 but we're not really looking at what needs to be done, what needs to be addressed, what needs to be spoken into existence. And I feel like a lot of you, you've been in this period where people didn't match your energy or people didn't fit into your mold. And in turn, I feel like a lot of you push people out of your life so you could focus on you, so you could focus on where your energy is lying. And I think in some way, I don't mean to be harsh, I think some of you are lying to yourself about what is really happening and what's really going on, and you're not really healing. You're just moving on to greener pastures because you're done with the pain, you're done with the neglect, you're done with the abandonment. And no judgment, we've all been there, but I just feel like you're not looking at something. And I think something needs to be addressed. All right, what energy can we get from Pisces? What's really going on? And I feel like, you want a stable situation. You want a situation in your life where you actually feel good, but there's just something missing. And I think a lot of you are struggling with that. A lot of you are really struggling on what it is you really want. And I feel like it's important not to go after what you want, but what needs to be done. Not to just put blocks up. And I feel like a lot of you have put in blocks up. Like, you feel like in some way, and I'm just speaking from what I've observed, you get hurt to a point that, you keep giving to these people that in some way have maybe enslaved you, maybe hurt you to the core, that you put up these barriers and these walls and these blockages because you don't want to be hurt. You don't want to have to rehash the pain. You don't want to have to deal with the intensity or the connection of this hurt that this person has brought to you. But in order to truly heal from the process, and in order to truly take in what has really happened to you, it's important to acknowledge the pain that was there. It's important not to build walls, not to look at this situation as a closed quarter. I'm done with this. You take care of your shit. No, it's time to lay these burdens down, to rest. And when I mean to rest, I mean looking at what the pain caused you. And even if expressing to this person that has hurt you tremendously, hey, this wasn't okay. I didn't accept this. I didn't like this. But I feel like a lot of you are resisting that. I'm just being honest what the cards are showing and what I'm personally feeling. So you've been on this journey where you've had to carry things. You've had to carry burdens. But the question is, with this burden, are you going to keep carrying it or are you going to lay it down? You need to acknowledge the pain, yes. You don't need to just block everything out. And that's what I feel like you're doing with this. You're blocking out this energy so it doesn't come to you, but you're surely not understanding the pain. And sometimes, yes, you need to feel pain. I hate to be like that, but sometimes you need to feel angry. You need to let these feelings sit for a moment. Acknowledge the existence that they are there, not to carve them down, but to acknowledge the pain so you can release. So you can release the pain. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. I just feel like in order to heal, in order to move forward, you need to lay down your swords and realize I have no control over this. I did what I could. I gave my all. But sometimes it's acknowledging the pain. And I feel like a lot of you aren't doing that. I'm just speaking in love, okay? It's nice to have this money. It's nice to have abundance. But if you don't acknowledge your pain, if you don't understand that sometimes what you do affects people, then you'll understand it's a lot easier to go on in life if you address the problem first, head on, instead of just skipping the pain and not really dealing with it. And I know there's coping mechanisms we do. Even for me, I do. Coping mechanisms like if I just block it out, it'll go away. No, it's still sitting in your body. It's still sitting in your vibration. So it's not a matter of just shifting your perception of something. It's a matter of really facing it head on the way it is and do what you can, not just to move on from the pain, but deal with it for what it is. And I feel like a lot of you are pretending that the pain's not there when it is, pretending that these people that came into your life, they may have cared for you. And I know there's situations that, are toxic. And if, you don't resonate with pain or you don't resonate with these people, remove yourself from the situation. But also, too, you need to acknowledge it. And I feel like a lot of you are pretending that it doesn't exist when it does. Or vice versa. You may feel like someone's done you wrong and they're not acknowledging. It can go either way. I just feel like it's time to acknowledge things. It's time to really be real with yourself. And I've had to tell my own self that today. There was just this moment I just wanted to just keep things in, bottle things up in my emotions. But I knew that it wasn't going to do any good. It wasn't going to serve the purpose. So, do what you got to do to feel better aligned with yourself. But I feel like in some way, some of you really walked away from a shitty situation. And I get it. If something doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But please don't ignore the pain and just realize you can go on with your life. But really acknowledge it. Heal from it, release it if you have to, yell and scream to the universe and say, why did this happen? But you need to heal from it. You need to acknowledge it. That's what I'm trying to say. And if I hurt one of you, the feelings, I'm sorry, but I'm just speaking from my truth. What I've observed, you got to heal it to reveal it, or reveal it to heal it, That's the only way you're going to move on from this painful experience that a lot of you've been through in and out. I can understand. All right, Scorpio. Oh, that was hard. It's like getting hot in here. All right, Scorpio. I feel like in some way, I've heard this, someone else did a reading for Scorpio. Like, that's mine. You're like in that attitude, this is mine. This is not yours, it's mine. I don't know. I feel like you guys are whiny at the moment. Alright. Scorpio. Alright. Cards are not working. I feel like a lot of you are going through your own shadow period at the moment, or you have gone, almost like a death and rebirth. There could have been injustice things done to you or another person that you have acknowledged in your life, but I just feel like you're trying to move on from it. You're trying to, gather your bearings, and, try to really focus on, not the negativity. You guys don't like drama, but I just feel like you're trying to escape from reality of whatever happened. And I just feel like, you got to be truthful to yourself. So let's see what energy is for Scorpios. I wanted to come out. All right. All right, you have the 7 of Swords. The 10 of Wands, And the 5. So you probably could have been dealing with a Pisces. You could have been dealing with something toxicity. Because Scorpio or Pisces had to deal with that you didn't really know how to move on from. But I feel like there's a lot of pain with that. Maybe you had to go through something that you had to see someone else go through the same exact thing. But I just feel like you're moving on from a time and a period that maybe there was a judgment call on something that was toxic. And I just feel like, you're trying to recover. You're trying to recover your energy. Maybe something came across to you that was shady and deceptive, but I feel like, maybe you're done fighting. You're done with the conflict, whatever the burden was. And I feel like you're getting a better picture of whatever has been toxic in your life. You could have been toxic with someone, getting in fights or something, but I just feel like you're over the conflict, you're over the drama. Maybe you lost something in the process. Maybe this is something that happened years ago that you lost and it got you off balance in some way. But I just feel like, you've gotten the clarity, I think, to move on from something that may have been toxic, that in turns, was a burden, but in turns, you lost it, I'm feeling. So I feel like that's it. So you're deciding on, moving on from something that was probably toxic. I just feel like maybe you and a friend have to figure it out, or you need to talk to a friend about it. I'm not sure. I hope those readings helped. Excuse me. I hope those readings help each of you water signs. Try to be better on yourself, not so hard. I know all of us as water signs are going through traumatic shifts right now, and we just need support. We need help to get through this situations in our life, and I just feel like, with a lot of this fiery energy, it's almost like you got a pot of boiling water and you put these different elements in with the water and fire. Honey, you got problems. You got a fight on your hand, or you got drama, or you got just things that aren't really working well together. But yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Try to do something that makes you feel good. I know the best thing sometimes is peace and quiet. Try to do the best you can in that. Anyways, bye-bye.